Let's examine what we can do with the Records menu in Browse mode. We've already covered a couple of things from the Records menu, but let's review them and also cover the things we haven't shown you. So if we go up to the Records menu, you'll see that we have the first option, New Record. This creates a new blank record that you can type in information into, and in this case a new blank contact record. Now right below it is a very similar feature, which is Duplicate Record. It creates a new record but uses all of the data on the current record. So we're on Bob Wilford's record here right now, and he is the last record in the found set. So if we duplicate this record, we'll see that we get an exact copy, because it may seem like we're on the same record, but we're not. We now have 44 total records and 41 are found. If I go to the previous record, you'll see that's Bob with a different timestamp. Okay, so we've made an exact copy of that record. Now this is great if you want everything on that record. You might want to duplicate an invoice so you can sell them the same products for some reason. There's a lot of ways you can use this. Duplicating records is very common. Maybe you have somebody who has the same address and same city and state and all that, but their name is different. You want to just have them in your contacts database. Many ways you can use this. But there's also another way to do it. We can go and choose New Record, come down to the first name field, and choose Insert from Last Visited Record. We'll see that it pulls in Bob's name. We'll insert again, and there's his last name. We can go in any field we want, so what we're doing is we're picking and choosing which values we want to duplicate. Rather than duplicating everything and then removing what we don't want duplicated, this is another way to approach it. And in fact, there's a keyboard command you want to make sure you understand, and that is Command or Control quote. So we can go ahead and do that. We can go down to the next field and type Command quote, and it pulls over the stuff. Or we can hold down Command Shift quote, and it tabs for us automatically. So Control Shift quote or Command Shift quote will actually walk you really quickly through all these fields and pull the data over. Now it's important to understand this insert from last visited, because it's not maybe as clear as I've made it. It's not as straightforward as maybe I've made it seem like. What you have to understand is, what is a visited record? So if we go back to another record other than Bob's, let's go to Matt. If we click into his record, put our cursor into it, that is the visited record, the last visited record. If we then go over to Bob's record, you may think this is the last visited record, but it's not. When we choose New Record and then Insert from Last, you'll see that it's getting Matt's information. So the last visited record is the one you last clicked into. So this can be very helpful. You can click onto a record, then create a new record, and then go ahead and start grabbing data from it. So make sure you understand that feature and learn the keyboard command, because it can be very helpful in this situation. So let's go ahead and look at the next item down, which is Delete Record. Now notice that it has 3 dots after it. That means that you're going to get a dialog. So we're going to choose Delete Record. And it's very important. A lot of people don't read these dialogs. It's very important. Permanently. That means you can't get it back. Permanently delete this entire record. If we hit delete, there is no way you can get it back. It is gone. So you can see that that record, the last one we created, is completely gone. Now if you hold down the Shift key or the Option key when you go up there, you'll notice that the dots go away. So be very careful you decide to do this, because that will delete the record without any message. So watch Bob's record go away, and watch this 45 go down to 44. So you can see that holding that Option or Shift key down when you're doing it is maybe a big time saver, but be really sure that that's what you want to do. And we also have Delete Found Records. This is a very scary one. If we choose this, you notice that it says permanently delete all 41 records in the current found set. That means these 41 records are completely gone. It's a quick way of deleting all your records, but you got to be careful, and that's one reason why the cancel button is the default. You have to click on this, so just be sure that you read these dialogues, because they'll be gone forever. All 41 of those records. You won't get rid of 3 of them because they're not in the found set. That's why it's called Delete the Found Records. So this is another reason why I design my databases and limit what people can do under the menus, because they don't know. They just want to get their job done. They don't know what half of these things do, and they might actually choose Delete Found Records when they thought they were choosing Delete Record. They might make a mistake, and they might delete all the records in the found set. So either through accounts and privileges, or through custom menus, you should limit what they can get to, and we'll get into those in later sections. It's not something you want to cover right now, but I want to plant the seed that really you want to prevent people from getting to certain areas because they just don't really care about learning how to do these things, and you need to be careful. So you also have go to record, which is essentially the same thing, next, previous, but you can see the keyboard commands here, and go to, that corresponds to the Rolodex, and also this option right here. You have refresh window, which will redraw the window. You probably will never use this, but it's here. And then you have this whole section down here, show all records, show omitted only, omit record, omit multiple, modify last find, saved finds, sort records, and unsort. We'll go over this at a later time. And for right now, we're going to go over just down to this point, and we're going to start in the next section how to use replace field contents, relookup, and revert record.